So I've been thinking, about what it means to live in our center. Because as a green witch, pretty much every day I call in the energies of the elements of earth, water, fire, air, above and below, in the center, to guide me, to support me, to be a vehicle of love, And that idea of always coming back to our center, what does that mean for each and every one of us? The more I contemplate these things that have been gifted to me, like our yoga practice, our 8 limbs. We were talking about that on Tuesday, what that means to be in samadhi, what it means to move through the 8 limbs of yoga, of the yamas and the niyamas, and truth and nonviolence and all those. So to live in our center, to live from our center, what does that mean? And one of the things I was thinking about was the gift of Krishna in our teachings. And Krishna is the way that he plays his flute. So Krishna means our highest consciousness, our highest self, right? You could say Christ consciousness, or any other kind of consciousness that is your highest consciousness, Krishna consciousness, whatever that is. And so when you think of coming into the center and coming into that place where you're always being called back to, you're always being called to that center. And if it's through Krishna, he's playing the flute. And when he plays the flute, he's intoxicating. And the stories go that the very common folk, it wasn't just the people who were, the priests and priestesses, it was the common folk that would be in the middle of making dinner or milking a cow or, some of the just everyday offerings. And they would just drop everything because they wanted to dance with Krishna. They wanted to be in that intoxicating energy of love, right? And I thought that's the idea of every time we return to our center, it's this intoxicating place of love. It's this place that keeps calling us back, because when we arrive there, we're not in the good, the bad, the right, the wrong, the black, the white. We're in the place of the dance. And that dance is always going to have all its multi-dimensions, right? It's always going to have all these different places for us to taste and see and smell. And so I want to do a calling of the elements. I'm going to do this at the end, though. I think I'll do it as a meditation with us. And some of you have done this with me before. But again, it's just that place that when we call on all the energies that are around us, when Krishna calls on us to dance that blissful dance, an intoxicating dance, that we lose all of our inhibitions, right? That's one of the workshops that we have coming up on Sunday, is lose your inhibitions, dance with Krishna, dance with the elements, where it's not that place of right, wrong, good, bad, up, down. It doesn't have all those qualities that we as humans bring to it. It just has that eternal love. So go ahead and close your eyes. And like I said, we'll do a nice meditation at the end. I just want to read you something that my teacher, Robin Rose, has written in her book of Healing Magic. At its heart, life is beautiful, it's magical, it's multidimensional, ever spiraling, rhythmic. Mystery involves intuitive processes and stimulates intellectual ones. We tend to overemphasize or over-rely on our minds to the point where we disengage from our bodies and our instincts. This is neither safe nor wise. It causes us to live more in fear than in health. So when we develop and redevelop these capacities, these creative places, these life skills, so that we can trust in our innate capacity to feel and sense and be in connection with our center. Always return again and again to the center, whatever that means to you. Bring your hands together at your heart center. Incredible sound of Krishna's flute, calling us home, calling us back to our center. That our dance is just so powerful. We let go. And in letting go, we become everything. Inhale for the sound of Om, deep breath in. Om. Take your left hand and place it on top of your heart. Take your right hand on top of your left. And just breathe for a moment at your center. And then release your hands down and open your eyes. Come onto your hands and knees. And begin to move in cat and cow so the spine finds that optimal healing energy, that prana. Allow your breath to move you here. Elements, earth, water, fire, air, are the ancient guardians of life. Earth, water, fire, air, the ancient guardians. That's why we create altars that are of water, altars of earth, altars of fire. So that each day we offer and request the wisdom that comes from the elements. When you're ready, press back downward facing dog. That looks beautiful, everybody. Ignite that fire energy by drawing the navel in, and then soften the air element through the heart. Almost the same way you were just touching your heart. Have that sense of ah in the heart. Maybe even open your mouth and say ah. I remember way back when I did a meditation where I wrote on my heart as my eyes were closed, right? I just wrote A-H. Just a sense of letting go, letting go, letting go. Good. And then go ahead and step your feet up to your hands, a deep bow, maybe another ah, a deep bow. Maybe even bend your knees here. Keep drawing the navel in, but maybe that rounding in your back body stays nice and full. Keeping the navel in, roll up one vertebra at a time. Come on up slow. There's a long time ago, we were told, don't come up like that, come up differently, right? Because of different traditions. There's something so sweet about just letting every part of your spine feel your awareness. Inhale your arms to the sky. Take a hold of that left wrist and pull to the right. Reach down through those legs, soften through those inner thighs, pull them back. Good, and then rise back up and switch sides. Let that side body get such a stretch. Good, come back to center, interlace your palms and press straight up. And then let your right arm just drop down your right leg. Stretch over to that side again, but look down to your fingertips. Good, inhale, come back up, and left arm drops down. You gaze down toward the left fingertips and reach over toward the left. Good, you rise back up, clasp your hands behind your back, shrug your shoulders towards your ears, feel the shoulder blades come onto your back, soften now. And then as you take an exhale, bow forward. Rebend your elbows here, rebend your knees. You kind of come out of that push. You come more into that yield. And then take the arms over any amount, straightening the legs by pressing the tops of your thighs back. Letting your left hand come down to your outer right ankle, left hand, outer right ankle, right arm to the sky. Twist. Beautiful. And switch sides. Keep pressing the tops of the thighs back, feeling that sense of lightness where the thighs and the low belly meet. Gorgeous. Touch the fingertips to the floor, bend your knees deeply. Keep your fingertips on the floor, send your butt way back. And then very slowly, just reach your arms out in front of you, parallel to the floor, just parallel. Keep your knees bent a lot. Take your seat down lower, lower, lower. Yes. Scoop the low belly in, pull the navel in, and start to reach the arms up toward the sky. Keep your seat low, chair pose. Good. Lower the hands back down to the floor. Beautiful work. Feel your legs go straight. Just feel that magnificent moment where the backs of the legs start to stretch. And then inhale, look forward. Send your left leg back behind you. Lower your knee to the mat. Inhale your arms to the sky, Anjaneyasana. Make sure that knee is pointing right at that second toe. Spread those right toes and feel that right heel as it draws back, but the knee is moving forward. Bend the elbows and reach into cactus. Again, the front chest softens. Good, and then lower the hands down to the floor. Lift your back knee and step your back foot in just a little bit. Maybe blocks are needed underneath your hands here. Parsvottanasana. Step your back foot in so the heel can drop. Good, and then take a moment here to adjust. So maybe you want to twist a little right, twist a little left, and then find the place where your hips are square, and then deeply bow. Nice, Angela. Nice, Anne. Breathe deeply here. It brings you back to your center. And I know in India, Vrindavan is the home of Krishna. It's very intoxicating there. Just the energy of the place pulls you there. It makes you want to dance. It makes you want to feel this freedom that you are. So when we really look into the teachings of Krishna, teachings of that place of God, Goddess, we're drawn to this place, the center, that we can just be who we are. Beautiful. Step back, downward facing dog. Be in our center, in relationship with that supreme power of love. Forward to plank. Lower all the way down to your belly. And like we did on Tuesday, take about a minute to rise into cobra and then lower back down. Rise into cobra and lower back down. Just taking a moment to feel the expression of each vertebrae of your back. So you come small first, and then you rise a little higher, as if you're taking it to the next vertebra, and then the next vertebra. And each one you're just touching with your love, with your breath, with your prana. That's what awakens the spine, your breath and your mind. Good. One more like that. Powerful legs. And then press back into child's pose. Good. And then come on up, downward facing dog. Keep the breath moving. And then stepping that left foot forward, lower the back knee. Inhale the arms to the sky, Anjaneyasana. Settling down into your pelvis, so send that knee quite forward, all the way to the tip of your toes. Take your navel in and then bend those elbows nice and wide. Yeah, even lean back as if someone's behind you, just welcoming you into their arms. Lean back so you soften there. Nice. Nice, Rhonda. And then touch down, nice, Margie. Lift your back knee and step your back foot in just a little bit. bowing over that front leg. I think more of my head is getting cut off. So afraid to move that. So find where you swish your hips side to side. And find that place of the center. And breathe deeply. In any moment that you want to rebend the knee or take a look at your shin and see that you're drawing it in, but that inner knee stays wide. I always like coming out of the pose to go into the pose. And I'm not saying to distract yourself. I'm not saying that. I'm saying sometimes it's getting into the pose and you just stay without even having a curiosity. Beautiful. One more breath here. And then move back into your downward facing dog. Rolling forward to plank. But take a really soft Vashisthasana. Let your right hand hold. You're like, what the hell does a soft Vashisthasana mean? So feeling your right hand hold, you stack your left leg on top of your right. But find that place that you're feeling freedom as opposed to just pushing. Maybe step your top foot forward or back behind you. Gorgeous. And then lower that hand down and try the other side. Maybe the top leg steps behind you or in front of you, but your jaw and your heart stays in that ah. Gorgeous. And touch down from plank, lower all the way down to your belly. Rise up into cobra about 3 times. Just acknowledging the spine and this energy moving through, up and down the spine. And then after that third, press back into child's pose. The Sushumna, that beautiful tunnel shape of our spine that draws the energy upward, reaching to sky energy, downward, reaching to earth energy. That place that allows us to always return to our center. An intoxicating flute of Krishna. What does it mean to lose all inhibitions? Go of fears. Dancing wildly. Elements are the ancient guardians of life on earth. Rise up, downward facing dog. So it's interesting when we begin practice, or we're 20 minutes, 15 minutes into it or whatever, we can do some of the wilder poses, but with a lightness of being, right? Right foot steps forward. Now take your right foot, this is tricky to teach on Zoom, but take your right foot, the knee is bent, and turn it to the right side and move it slightly back on your mat. So take your right foot, turn it out to the right. Yep. Now move it back about 2 or 3 feet back. Now fall onto your baby toe side of your back foot and take your right arm to the sky. Yeah. Yeah, now take your arm over your ear. So drop your whole foot, Dina, in the back. Your whole foot, in the, your foot. Yeah. Yeah, keep it flexed. It's as if you're in a Vashisthasana leg. Nice job. Lower that hand back down, back to plank. Lower all the way down. Take it through about 3 cobras. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Beautiful Susan, Tracy, gorgeous. Nice, Sandra. And downward facing dog when you're ready. Left foot steps forward. Turn the foot out. Bring it back slightly on your mat. Drop your back foot. Lift that back knee. And you're on your baby toe side of that back foot. I know, I know. Yes, take that arm over the ears. Yes, yes, yes. And release down, downward facing dog. Good. Walk your hands back to your feet. Take your feet wide and come into squat. Maybe even close your eyes. What does the element of earth offer to you today? Feel it in your bones. Earth energy is that manifestation. Good. Take your hands to the floor, lift your seat, and walk yourself back into downward facing dog. Good. Step your right foot forward, please. Light landing. Walk to the left until you come to the center of your mat. Turn left, turn left, turn left. Prasarita Padottanasana. Turn left. Keep going left, Dina, all the way until halfway through. Yeah, there you go. And a deep, deep bow, please. And relax through your heels, relax through your toes so you can find your whole foot. It's nice to think of your toes as from the tip of your toes all the way to your ankle, like this nice length that you're creating. Definitely not a feeling of holding, clenching. Good. Take your left hand onto the floor, straighten it up. Take your right arm to the sky, twist. Make sure that right shoulder comes closer to your ear so you can really get the length. That's it. Push your tops of your thighs back, especially the opposite, the one you're turning away from. So your left inner thigh moves more to the left. And then release that down and switch sides. The earth, the water, the fire, the air, return, return, return. Beautiful, nice, Kathy. And then hands on your hips, push down through your legs here, rise up to stand. Good, clasp your hands behind your back. Now you can bend your knees for just a moment again, just to feel that sense of pelvis releasing. I promise you, the more you come into that place of releasing that pelvic energy and finding that sense of cleansing and purifying that energy down there, there'll be so much space. Now take those legs to straight and bow forward. Any moment we have to squat, to breathe, to get earthy energy, take the arms up and over any amount. Absolutely beautiful. Now hands on your hips and roll up slow. Roll up slow. Come on up. Yes, 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 yes. Good. Now turn your feet slightly in and slightly out. So you're in a nice high squat. Goddess pose it's called. And take the arms out. So you have a nice cactus arm. So it'd be lovely. Lift those elbows up. Pull that throat back. Sit bones go super wide. Let's just open that mouth, stick out that tongue. Beautiful. Straighten up those legs, turning your left foot so it parallels the back of your mat. We're going to come into Vira 2. Turning your right toes to the front of the mat. Bend your right knee. So face the other way. Right foot to the front of the mat. Dina, yeah, there you go. And then drop deep into that right thigh. Take those arms up a little bit higher. And breathe. Steady eyes, relaxed jaw. Sliding that left arm down that left leg, take the right arm up and back. Stretch, 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 pull it long. Gorgeous. Straightening that front leg and take it into Trikonasana, triangle pose. What is offered to us each and every day as a gift, as a teacher, as a friend, as a lover, as a mother, as a father, as a sister, as a brother. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is the advisor. At some points, the friend. Bend that front knee and float forward into half moon Ardha Chandrasana. Flex that back foot. Squeeze those legs toward each other so the power of those legs, maybe even reach back toward that ankle if you want to take a little thigh stretch, or stay right where you are. And as you step back to warrior two, Virabhadrasana 2, and then take that side angle, Pajvakonasana, right forearm on right thigh, right hand on the floor. You choose. Yeah. Just spiral open that left armpit, really get those left ribs to reach toward the ceiling. Nice narrative. Ronnie, Rachel, and gorgeous Andrea, and touchdown. Downward facing dog. Vinyasa of choice, maybe throw in a couple of extra cobras just for fun. Sweet. Yep. Amazing, everybody. Amazing. Let's see if I can have any memory of what I did on the other side. Left foot forward. Walk to the right until you come to the center of your mat. Prasarita Padottanasana. Deeply bow, making sure your feet are parallel to each other in the same line. And again, keep dropping that jaw. I know when I was learning Sanskrit with Manorma, that was one of the big things, is to be able to drop your jaw. And I think it's the same as in finding your way in life. Drop your jaw so that you can live that place. Just relaxed, light. It's interesting, so many of the herbs that we have, the wild weeds that we have, are just for that reason, to be alert but relaxed. Good, left hand floats to the floor, right arm to the sky twist. Breathing in and breathing out. And then right hand down, left arm up. Make sure the inner thighs stay wide, that you don't drop one hip, keep them square. Nice job, everyone. Hands on your hips, press down through your legs, rise up to stand. Clasp your hands behind your back. Shrug your shoulders towards your ears, and then soften. So there's a lift. So we go, okay, I got action there, but now I got to soften. And once you soften, you'll feel the heart, right at the back of the heart. Take a breath in, and then bow forward. Nice. Make sure you're not clenching your toes. You're not clenching your eyes. Good. And then hands on your hips again. And this time, roll up slowly to stand. Come up slow. One vertebra at a time. Good. Then squeeze your feet in just a little closer to each other so you can turn your toes out and come into the goddess with the elbows wide. That fire center is igniting here. So the water is down in the pelvis, the fire is at the navel, the air is moving upward towards sky. Beautiful. And then open the mouth, stick out the tongue. Good, straighten those legs. And then turn your left toes to the front of the mat. Virabhadrasana 2, come into. Let those arms lift a little bit higher. Let your left hip point lift a little higher, because it has a tendency, if you look at your hip points, your front hip point's gonna fall a little lower. So lift it up a little higher and then sink into your left thigh. Gorgeous. Everyone in the room, beautiful. Right arm down your right leg, left arm up and back. So stretch back and really feel that sweet pull in those left ribs, but keep sending your left knee forward. Good, straighten that front leg and take it into Trikonasana, triangle pose. Each one of us have what guides us each day, right? So maybe we have prayer in the morning, maybe we have meditation in the morning, maybe we work with our guardian angels, or kind of interesting to add on, or maybe just try and play with being in union with the elements, earth, water, fire, air. Bend that front knee and move forward into half moon. Maybe reaching for that back ankle if that feels good to you. Maybe today, if we do have the storms here, play with water energy. And as you step back into second warrior. And you take your version of side angle. So maybe it's dropping your hand down to the floor, maybe a block, maybe placing it on your thigh. Make sure your head lifts though, so your head has that wonderful opportunity to strengthen your neck. Make sure you're breathing deeply here as you drop your hands down to plank pose. Stepping that left leg back to meet that right. Using your right hand once again to support you in Vashisthasana, pose of the sage. This time lifting the top leg and stepping it behind you. And then taking your left arm and pulling it down as far as it'll go, so your chest will lift. Bend your top elbow and pull down and lift your chest and lean back and lean back and lean the head back as if you're going to move into a back bend from here. Gorgeous. And then nice. And then drop that hand down. Nice, Sarah. And switch side. Yes, in the room. Beautiful, Dina. And then switch other side. Step the top foot back. Try to stay on toes because it's nice that you just push onto those toes and then draw. That's it. Yes. Become lighter and lighter and lighter. Beautiful. And release. Come on down to your knees and press back into child's pose. Woohoo. In the east, we work with the element of air. Sun rises. Illumination. New ideas, concepts. I can't imagine that there's not one of us. I was thinking about this morning, that there's not one of us that hasn't found that we are and I want to say reinventing ourselves, and I don't mean it exactly like that, but there's a part of us that is becoming anew. There's a part of us being requested to find that energy of the East, sunrises inside ourselves, the newness, places that we haven't yet discovered. Come on up to your hands and knees, stretch your right arm out to the right, and thread it underneath your left, threading the needle. Take any variation that you like here. It's an interesting variation. I can't actually say that I've done it myself, but I've seen people do it that I think it looks really cool, and then I forget to try it myself. But to take that left leg and lift it up to the sky, and then try to reach back with your left hand to hold that ankle. Some of the possibility here is falling over. Yes, exactly. You guys are so cute. You're like, really, Sheryl? You've never tried it? Let me try it for you. Good. Come on up. Nice. Let's try the other side. Why not? This is the idea of Krishna. Lose that thought that I can't. What's interesting of this story is that many of the women who dropped everything to run to Krishna, their husbands, they were like, you can't go, like they're like, no, that's crazy talk. And so they sent them into a room and locked the door or something like that. But when it ended up happening, beautiful release and come on up, downward dog, is that the women would then sit to meditate on Krishna, and of course still went into that dance, still went into that intoxication, because Krishna is everywhere. It doesn't have to be that energy that is right in front of you, as in, tangible. Good, right foot steps forward. Open up your Vajrasana 2 again. Super beautiful. Okay, take those legs a little bit wider, a little bit wider. Drop deep into that right thigh, and then lift up through the belly so the fire center lifts you up. Navel draws you up. Good, now take your right hand and place it on the floor inside your right foot. So you can squeeze your arm and your knee, and the left arm just straight up to the sky. And then press your knee and your arm so your inner thighs get that opportunity to go wide. Sit bones go wide, scoop the low belly a lot. Very good. And then drop both hands inside your right foot and lift up your back heel. Good. Take your right shoulder underneath your right knee and stretch your right hand off the floor, so out to the right. It's underneath though. And then your left arm out to the left like you're flying. Yep, yep, yep. And then release both hands down inside that foot and walk your hands to the upper left-hand corner of your mat. Lower down to your elbows if you'd like. Watch that knee. Don't let your knee fall in. Keep your knee pointing at your second toe. Your right foot is forward. Make sure your knee is not passing your ankle. Dissolve. Let your exhales get a little longer. And let your inhales match that. Writing the sound and the letters of ah on your heart. Returning to the center again and again. Good, rise back up and take it back, downward facing dog. Vinyasa of choice or none at all. Maybe a child's pose. Beautiful. Stepping the left foot forward, opening to Virabhadrasana 2. Sinking deep into that left thigh, so maybe the legs go just a little bit wider for this one. As much as you sink into the left thigh, lift through the low belly. Again, that left hip point lifts. And then slide your left hand down to the floor inside your left foot. Keep your knee bent. Left, left. Yep, right arm to the sky. And then push for just a moment. Get that sense of drawing that knee and that arm so the inner thighs can keep pushing wide. They have a little resistance. So beautiful, everybody. Take both hands down to the floor inside. Lift your back heel up. Did I do something before I had us walk our hands to the right? What did I do? Underneath. Ah, thank you. Take your left shoulder inside your left knee and take your left arm out to the left and your right arm out to the right, as if you're flying. Keep that navel drawn in. Super beautiful, nice, Linda. And then drop those hands down to the floor and walk your hands to the upper right-hand corner of the mat. Maybe dissolve down to those elbows if you'd like, or stay where you are. Yeah, and maybe even drop that back knee. It's up to you. I would definitely keep pulling in through the low belly. Maybe even feeling yourself drawing your inner thigh and your low belly on the left side away from each other. The energy of the south is fire, justice, love, anger, laughter, trickster, digestion. The element of fire. Good, raise back up and step back, downward facing dog. Inhaling that right leg back and up behind you, down dog split. Pulling your right knee forward for pigeon or lying on your back. If you're a lie down on your back kind of girl. Move forward onto your forehead, making sure your knee is quite wide if you're in pigeon face. Yep, Very nice. And then make sure your knees are having this feeling of drawing in toward each other. And then drop your forehead onto the floor or a block. The energy of the West is water. Sunsets, endings, releasing, letting go. Imagine dropping everything when you hear that sound that asks you to return to your center. A place that you just laugh and dance. And how could I be so silly to get caught up in such a drama? This place of unconditional love. What does that mean? So if you're on your back, you just stay right there. Those of you who are facing the floor in pigeon, walk your hands up, tuck your back toes under, lift your back knee up, and then send your right leg over to the left. Shoot it out to the left, straight leg to the left. Take your left arm to the sky, reach up. Woohoo, there you go. And then lower that back down. Downward facing dog, Casey. I love you. Good. Inhaling that left leg back and up behind you. Slide that left knee forward, pigeon. Again, if you're not doing pigeon this way, lie on your back, take your left ankle to your right knee. Squeeze your knees toward each other, scoop your low belly in, pull your spine long, and walk forward. Maybe forehead comes onto a block. North energy is earth energy. We allow Mother Earth to feed us, Mother Nature to always feed us, nourish us, and us to nourish her. Being in conversation, and a genuine love and connection to all of nature. We had a beautiful gathering a couple of weeks ago at my house on full moon. And we had offered for the people that were taking place in that offering to go sit with a tree just to have some energy of listening to the tree and talking with the tree. And one of the women, she had come back, she was so beautiful, and she started saying how that she kept just thanking the tree for all that it had done for her, because she really had never sat with a tree. She didn't quite know how to communicate, what do I say, So she said, I just kept thanking the tree for everything the tree did. I love that it's like a relationship with someone that you've never met before, so you just start talking a lot, which is awesome. And then the next step would be just to listen. If you're on your belly, if your belly's facing the floor, go ahead and walk yourself back up. We're gonna do the same thing. Lift your back knee up, then shoot your left leg over to the right, and then reach that right arm to the sky and get those ribs nice and high. Lift, lift, lift. And lower back down, downward facing dog, and press back into child's pose. If you're on your back and you want to just hug your knees into your chest, that would be a great place to go. Center is the great mystery. Everything cycles through the center, as in life, as in death, as in transformation. When you return over and over to the center, because it's so intoxicating. So go ahead, those of you in child's pose, rise up and come onto your back. Stay there, Linda. Roll onto your back, hug your knees into your chest. And then come into happy baby pose. Reach for your insteps, draw your knees wide. And then take your legs to the sky and go to a letter V, nice wide V. Clasp your hands together, pointer finger stretches out, arms overhead. Yep. I call it Charlie's Angels. I don't know why. Reach your arms now up between your legs. Good. Pulling the ribs down toward the floor. Good. Now let your head come back down to the floor and let your arms come out to letter T, palms face down. Keep your legs wide. Now squeeze your legs in super slow toward each other, super slow. Amazing. Good job. Once your legs come together, keep your feet flexed. Push your palms down and just take your legs slightly to the left, slightly to the left. Take your right ribs to the floor. So don't, if I came next to you and tried to slide my hand underneath your right ribs, I wouldn't be able to slide my hand under. Good, come back to center and take it to the other side. So it's not a twist, it's just strengthening the back. Good, come back to center and then just do little circles here with your legs. Keep them up in the air, just little circles. Beautiful, and then hug your knees into your chest. Ah. Place your feet down onto the floor, preparing for bridge. Maybe you want to just take a block and slide it underneath your sacrum. That's lovely. Maybe you want to just take robot arms, making sure that your shoulders are rooted, your navel's drawn in, and take your hips to the sky. Always making sure your jaw is relaxed. The earth, the water, the fire, the air, return, return, return. If you're on a block, go ahead and stay. Otherwise, lower your hips back down. Pause for a moment, dropping your hands, just breathing deeply into your soft belly here. Let your belly get soft. And then if you'd like to take it into full wheel or one more bridge, or I know some of you here like to go into camel, you're welcome to do that. Meredith. Big Meredith and Susan, yeah, are my two camel ladies here today. Any other back bend that feels really good to you? Oh, and too, I didn't expect that, okay. And then when you feel complete, you can come on down and just rest for a moment. I'm going to give you a moment to go upside down here. Maybe that means just stretching your legs up to the sky. Maybe that means taking headstand or handstand, forearm balance, shoulder stand. Maybe placing a block underneath the sacrum and just lifting your legs to the sky. Never leave the center, for it is the great mystery. We learn to move into our center daily, hourly. I remember Sri Ramananda, when somebody would ask him about meditation, they'd say, gosh, what are we supposed to, what's the rule of meditation? Should I meditate in the morning? Should I meditate at night? And he said, how can I tell them to meditate all day long? How can I tell you to return to your center all day long? Center of the wheel, medicine wheel. Just another minute here. Nice, everybody, beautiful. So fun on my end to see all these legs in the air. Good, slowly come on back. And we'll meet seated. We'll take it through a couple of forward bends before we go into meditation. So you can turn to face the front of your mat, maybe sitting on a blanket if that feels good to you. We'll start with the soles of your feet together. If you don't have a blanket or something to sit up on, maybe just wiggle your butt back a little bit more. And even if you do have a blanket, wiggle your butt back a little bit more. Keeping the baby toes reaching toward the floor, and then walking forward any amount, and then relaxing through your hands. Relax through your eyes, relax through your jaw. Baddha Konasana. There's really nice rounding in your back here. But draw your navel in, and then once the navel pulls in, sweep it upward toward the heart, and then press your sit bones back even more. Again, so there's this very subtle but powerful internal stretch, and then that external feeling. The navel is always that fire center that's reaching up to that air element, always raising, right? The fire always raises itself up. Good, and then as you come back up, stretch your legs nice and wide, Upavista Konasana. Start with the side stretch here. So reach your right arm inside your right leg, take your left arm over your ear. Try to get that left arm to go straight. We have a tendency to kind of bend that elbow. Try to get it to go straight, and then draw that armpit back just a little bit more. So you're really hollowing the armpit. Can you feel your heart here? Can you squeeze into the back of your heart here? And then turn toward that right leg and bow. Turn toward that right leg and bow. Beautiful, and then just wander over towards your left leg, left arm inside your left leg, right arm over your ear, side stretch. Right, pulling the throat back just gives you a really nice space when that throat moves back, that you feel that connection to your spine. Cerebral fluid that flows from your spine to your brain, right? And then facing that left leg, bow. Beautiful. Walking yourself to the center and just bowing there. Some of you might want to bend your knees. Maybe you need to feel more of a stretch in your spine. The hamstrings won't allow that. So you can always bend your knees a little bit and then pull your sit bones back and wide. And then as you rise back up, finally bring your legs back together, squeeze them together. Paschimottanasana, full forward bend, just reaching forward, whatever that looks like to you. Your nervous system really enjoys forward bends. Working with your nervous system, with this earth wisdom. You have lemon balm in any variation, very amazing for your nervous system. It uplifts as well as calms. It helps with confusion. Anxiety. Oops. And then go ahead and walk yourself back up and come into a comfortable seat, please. Once you've arrived, close your eyes. If you have an orientation of where east, west, north, south is, as we go through this meditation, you could turn your head to face that way. If you do not worry. I will not be turning my head just so that you can hear me. If you have an orientation to where that might be, just turn your head in the direction. So we call on the east as that place of new beginnings, concepts, illumination, air, sunrise. We also know it is the air of wild hurricanes and soft breezes. It's all in us, those hurricanes, soft breezes, that breath, clarity. We call on the energy of the south, which is fire, justice, love. It's what cooks our food. It gives us anger as a step towards skillful action. It's our laughter, it's our trickster. We call on the energy of the west, which is water, sunsets and endings. It's a place of feelings, emotions. It's releasing of life, letting go so that we can flow. It's the wisdom of the divine feminine, its dreams, its visions, imagination. We call on the energy that is north, manifestation. Feel the earth in our bones, stone, soil. We let the earth feed us, plant, people. And it allows us to bring our dreams into manifestation, into being. We call on the energy that's below us. This is the energy of the ancestors, the inner wisdom, support, snake energy. Trusting that we will always have what we need. Reaching down deep into our own unique gifts. Shining a light on our dreams. We call on the energy of illumination above us. The winged ones. energy of the angelic forces and all those that guide us. We call the energy of the center, which is the great mystery, where we never leave. Everything cycles through life and death and transformation, the place of intoxication, the place of truth. We return again and again to the center. So sit to meditate here for a moment if you'd like. And when you feel called to come down onto your back for Shavasana, please go there. Take your time or not at all. Stay in meditation. Ever so gently begin to deepen your breath. Whether you're seated or lying down, let your body begin to stretch and yawn. If you're lying down, hug your knees into your chest, roll to the right side, and come on up to sit. Drawing your hands to the center of the medicine wheel. And return again and again. Inhale for the sound of Om. Deep breath in. Om. Sliding your hands to the space between the eyebrows. Namaste, everybody. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful, beautiful day, everybody. Go make it great. Go play with water, earth, fire, air.
Thank you, Sheryl.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome so much.
Thank you.
Sheryl, beautiful.
Can I go
Love,
jump?
love, love.
You said to go play with water.
Go play with water.